1. Can you hear me? Am I coming in clear? Thanks for joining us, Alex, Squire, Calvin. You're listening to the musical stylings of Peep This Creep from the Deep by our own Pope Brandon Brownson. Oh, I'm really quiet. Let me try turning off the music. Let's see. Does turning off the music make a difference? I think the music was pushing me down a little bit. All right. Well, welcome everyone. We are going to be trying out, the Mastermind Maker Deluxe Edition for Mutants Mastermind's 3rd edition. I am adequately volume now. Thank you very much, Alex. And hey, Streak, glad to see you. All right. Well, yeah, I've been trying to think about, what I want to do, and I think we're going to start by importing a character, an existing character, from a Hero Lab file. Boo, Hero Lab. We don't think about that one. Let's see here. Wait, no, I think I might be spelling that wrong. Also, I guess I'm also curious if it's legible at all. If it's legible at all to anybody. Nope, that's not showing up there. Where is the file? Okay, I'll see if I can pump up the size here. There we go, okay. I mean, that could be a factor. Let's not, reject that entirely. And yeah, Squire, if you never used Hero Lab, it was good for its time, but it has never been adequately upgraded. Oh, you know what? I don't know if I don't think that was intended to make it a 720p stream, but that would definitely be a factor. Can I change the resolution midstream? Let's find it. It does not appear so. Dang. I don't really want to end this and restart if I don't have to. And yeah, I'll back up what Claude, aka Curly Insane Guy, is saying, that yeah, I had a problem particularly on the Mac with it crashing a lot. Hero Lab, that is. Yeah, unfortunately I cannot make that any. I've got an idea on what I can do though. Let's see if this will work. That didn't really help. Well, they made it a little. Yeah, I think that zoomed in a little bit on it by making that that part smaller. Can y'all see it a little better now? Or is it just me? I'm also curious now what the delay is on on the stream right now. But luckily, with Mastermind Maker, they decided to make it, for lack of a better term, backwards compatible. If I make it just a little bit. Let's see here. I'll take kind of better. All right, I was trying to find my file for the old Dionysus. Okay, I've got this one. Showing and closing folder. All right, which it's in podcast files, gameplay assets. Oh, my search is really struggling today. Can I drag and... I would say, can I drag and drop? Let's find out. I don't really never tried. Nope, cannot drag and drop. All right, well, let me see. You know what? I will just make a copy of it into my downloads folder to make it easier to access. Oh, download that. Boom, boom. There we go. Okay, so now it's just in my downloads folder. All right. And that was me, Alex. All literature comes from me. Okay, so it loaded. Let's see if we start a new portfolio. Oh, it doesn't look like it worked. Let me check one other thing. Well, I mean, it definitely imported some information, but not what I was looking for. How's everyone doing today? Okay. Let's see, today is 23rd. All right, we got a couple copies here that I'll have to see if any of these are the right one. Oh, Squire, what do you study? You said you're in the swing of back to school, or are you a teacher? I guess is another possibility. And Calvin, watching the first episode of Lanterns, I was very happy with it. So yeah, I would definitely also like to hear your thoughts on it. And Street, just getting home from work. Well, I'm glad that we can be part of your downtime and your decompression. And Alex, when you say Waterworld LARP, do you mean it's raining or is something else happening? If you've been forcibly conscripted into a LARC, you have to tell us. Okay, let's try this import again. Ah, secret third thing I hadn't considered as a non-parent. All right, so it doesn't seem to like that one because it's not. All right, that one at least loaded some details in. So let's try going to start a new portfolio. See, I think something's up because it's not including the picture, and I know the picture is included on the file that I have. Let's try one more time, and if not, we'll just start from where we're at. Like, it's not that I think the file's not being imported correctly, I just don't know which version of it is the right one. Now, it's giving me a warning. I like that, actually. That means that something is notable. Journal. Yeah, let's try it. Start new portfolio. Still no picture, though. Let's see if we can fix that. Oh, yikes. That is too much water. And let's see what we got here. It's not the one I want. We'll go with this one. And one nice thing about Mastermind Maker is when you import a picture, it doesn't have to use the entire photo. You can actually just select like a portion of a photo, which is what we're doing here for Dionysus. And for those who are not familiar or don't remember, Dionysus was the bad guy in the original Redacted Rangers adventure, Assault on Wondertainment World. He is not a supervillain taking the name Dionysus. He is actually the original Greek god. So let's see here. Hair, we'll say black. Eyes are kind of blue. Skin pale, honestly. I'm saying you can kind of get a sense of the details that you're able to set in here through Mastermind Maker. All right, so he's using 155 of his 135 power points. Now he was originally a PL9. I think I do want to change that. I think for this, let's see, can I? If I just hit add, what happens? Oh, okay, so that would add a whole different character. That's not what I want. How do I? Let's delete that from the portfolio. Okay, so deleting that from the portfolio did not affect. Yeah, in terms of him being a little skinny for the god of wine and excess, you know, listen, there's a lot of people that are out there partying all the time and staying skinny. How they're doing it, we don't talk about that here on live streams. Hero and ooh, villain. I didn't even know that was a designation you could add, but yeah, I want to do that for character options. Okay, save data file. All right, perhaps as I'm still learning the program, I am not 100% on how I would go about changing someone's PL from what it starts as. So let's see, options. Starting PL 9. Let's see if I just move it on up. Okay, cool. That automatically moves us up to level 10. I'm actually going to make him a level 11 because I'll pull the cat out of the bag in this scenario. Yeah, Brandon and I have been talking. We want to turn Assault on Wondertainment World into an actual adventure module for people. So it's kind of been thinking about what all we need to be able to do that, and we're gonna start doing some streams here where we're prepping various things and coming up with ideas for it. Coming up with an actual map of Wondertainment World and getting that commissioned. I just think it was a fun adventure. It's one that I've run at cons. I just ran it at Origins Game Fair in Columbus this year. And yeah, I thought it was one that really lends itself well to something like that. So that being said, that's kind of why I'm focusing on Dionysus tonight. I was trying to think about characters that would be a good fit for that. And we're not setting any kind of timeline with trying to work on the actual podcast. Has been a big focus of mine. I don't want to set a specific time. My hope, I guess, if I'm setting a dream right now, it would be that by Origins next year we would have it done. If not, hopefully well before. But like I said, nothing definitive on that front. Let's look at the abilities real quick. And wait, let me just drop the reference here. Okay, that's just reference in general. Strength 0. I feel like it should be a little higher than that. Stamina, agility, dexterity. Yeah, I think I'll say a lot of this probably stems from my philosophy when creating characters, and Brandon, I think, has taken a bit of this on too. Is I generally think of the main abilities as who they are if their powers get taken away, which is why I think the numbers I use might be a little lower than somehow some others tend to do it. Okay. Interesting. So yeah, sorry about this. I'm kind of learning the program as I look. Yeah, Calvin, Wondertainment World went pretty well this year. I definitely, and this also connects to why I want to turn into an adventure, is I definitely wasn't as prepped as I wanted to be. Like, I had run it previously, but I didn't really do what I wanted to in the intervening year between 2024 and 2020 or 2025 and 2026 in terms of ironing out the kinks in the story, because the story itself was kind of built with these specific original Redacted Rangers in mind, as opposed to the more generic characters I gave them access to. So kind of got to do a little better about thinking how to adjust the story in terms of different power sets that could be thrown in. Particularly for those who remember that adventure, I did none of that original adventure really had any characters with extreme movement speed or particularly flying, and so with throwing characters like that into the mix, I have to think about either story reasoning, for why characters can't take advantage of those abilities, or alternative tasks and things that they can be given to help fill that void. Yeah, kind of just looking down here. Acrobatics, I feel, is correct. I don't really feel like the character is meant to be agile, and athletics, honestly, too. No, let me kind of start from the. Let's look at the powers first, actually. So one thing from that adventure, that's part thereof is where he's getting a lot of his combat ability from is from stolen items from other Greek gods or Roman gods. I'm trying to remember, Ares is Greek, Mars is Roman, I think. This is another situation where Brandon's interest in mythology kind of kickstarts that. I also just realized I was just on a Star Trek stream. I just realized I left my my badge on. Um, Teleport defense. This was one that I wanted to look into when I was kind of just taking a look at it. Reflecting warp, deflect 10. Okay, and it's not dynamic. It's also, I'll say, one of the cool things about Mastermind Maker here is just the layout of it just feels more modern, more easy to understand. And not gonna really mess with that too much, but one of the things that is a godsend, I think, that I saw a lot of people talking about when it was announced is the ability to drag and drop things to other sections is gonna really make building these kind of arrays and powers a lot cleaner. Um, Redirect and reflect. Okay. I forgot he had a spear too. Let's see. And oh, thanks, Calvin. Yeah, yeah, I don't know when I started kind of really adopting that idea for my character building. I think it's uh at least for the last couple years has really been how I've been thinking about it when I build characters. And again, I'm not saying that that's obviously not the only way to do it. The book itself doesn't follow, the original books don't follow that, nor should they have to. But I say, especially when I was running the create a character things, that was also something I told people. I said, here's my philosophy. Here's how I would do it. This is not how you have to do it. And some people took advantage of that. Some people did not. Advantages. Oh, he has a daze. Interesting. See, because I did not build the original character and I didn't really, I was involved, but hey, Doc, coming over to us from Twitch. um, so wait, did you do like RC Byler? Bum ba dum bum 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 bum. And eidetic memory, I feel like makes sense. I feel like that's one that would be more geared towards a PC, but I'll say that's another thing I try to do is there's a reason that I also typically build out all of my villains, not just in this case because we're going to try to potentially publish it for others to be able to use, but because I always also like to think of it as I also build within power level limit point wise typically because I want to think of these characters as if someone wanted to write an adventure where this was a protagonist, someone could just grab the sheet and use it. Doc, if humming a jingle using entirely different words gets me banned, I don't want to be on Twitch that bad anyway. But on the flip side, Twitch, if you want to sponsor me, always open. That's what you want from someone you're sponsoring, right? Someone who's willing to leave at a moment's notice. Defensive attack. Interesting. So let's say move by action, always pretty much. And honestly, now that I think about it, if I were to give him something, it would probably of the advantages. If I were to give him a different advantage, it would probably be quick draw, given that he has the spear, because that's one I also pretty commonly give folks. Almost to the level of default. Let's see. I almost feel like I should have started completely from scratch in a way. Um, all right, well, I see, just to start us off, I can see that I'm already 10 points above where I want to be. So I think I'm going to drop presence by 1 point. Bring that in line with awareness. Oh, wait, no, I have it backwards. I am actually underpointed. So, well, then in that case, let's take a look at. Oh, well, that would also make sense too. I was originally over points, but then I moved him up a power level, so now he has some extra points to play with. Well, you know what? Let's start with our defenses. I want to get those up. So right now, he is at 9-7. So if I'm bringing up to a PL 11, we'd be trying to hit a total combined of 22. So definitely low on that front. So I would still build him as more dodge shifted. So um, do I want to build that into any of his powers instead of just buying the defenses outright? Yeah, let's do that. Let's build a power here. It'll be an opportunity to build a power for interesting configurate. Oh, okay. So blast are to be a configuration. Base effects would be. I see. Interesting. And then container, I'm gonna guess, is an array. Okay. Oh, activation container. That's cool. Easy removable device. Link in here. Oh, this is. Oh, though, sorry, I am just looking at this and being like, all of the things that used to give me pause and frustration on Hero Lab are truly being taken care of. Uh, oh, and I can make my own powers to save. Oh, that's really cool. That'd be really great for, now that I'm thinking ahead, like building out like a pre-made species or race or whatnot. Like if I wanted to make Atlanteans or something, having those pre-made configurations would be very useful. Neat. All right, well, here, let's go add defense modifier. Oh, so okay, so drag and drop is in some cases required. All right, so if I wanted to give him more dodge, and let's give it a fun name. Um, is Apollo the fast one? Trying to decide if maybe I almost want to make it a remove. Now that I'm thinking about it, I almost want to make it a removable device that he also stole something from Apollo to move, like the little winged sandals. Hmm. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. If I cool. All right. So Hermes, thank you, Doc. Oh, streak, very cool. I want to say, I will not consider this in any way a definitive tutorial, given that I am learning as I go. But yeah. Um, so add configuration, base effects. That'd be a container here, so I'm gonna make it an. I feel like sandals would be easily removable almost. I don't know. You're walking on them. What do you think, folks? Removable or easily removable for the Hermes sandals? Oh, okay. If they're tied to his legs, we'll say just removable then. That makes sense. Um, I was just thinking. I'm wearing flip flops right now. I'm just like these things are gonna fall off my feet if I if I move too fast. Oop. Okay, removable device. Yeah, Streak. That's kind of what I was thinking of, and I think based on Doc's message here over on Twitch that they're kind of tied up to his legs. I didn't really think about that aspect of it. That would definitely make a difference. So, sandals of Hermes, and this is just gonna give him his extra defense modifiers for dodge and parry. Okay, so where... Oh, I see what's going on. So if I just try and drop it in general, it's not sure where to put it. So I have to make sure I put it specifically as part of this. Okay, so we're not going to give a specific modifier underneath it. We're just going to give it dodge and parry. And where does it give? Where do I put my ranks here? Hey, Devious, welcome to the party. I am learning how to use... Oh, wow, I just also realized, if you can see up here, it already has its existing dodge rank in the corner here. So that'll be nice to kind of save you from having to, you know, scroll back up and down to find it. But I'm not seeing where the... Alright, so no, this is not a modifier. Maybe defense modifier is not the right option? Maybe defense modifier is not what I want. Because what I want to do is up a rank. Attach enhancements. Effects to one of your defenses. Select defense. Oh, okay. So defense modifier might not quite be what I was thinking of. How did you know, Paul? Oh, Devious. Yeah, I am currently trying to build a set of Hermes sandals that'll increase the character's dodge and parry. And I was trying to do it as defense modifier as I'm going here. Oh, hey, Desmond. And I am just I'm wondering if maybe I've selected the wrong option for this. I saw defense modifier, and I was like, oh, that sounded right in my head, but I might not have been thinking of it properly. So yeah, let's take a step back here and how do I... There we go. Defense modifier only... Yeah, okay, so yeah. That sounds right. I was gonna say, defense modifier was definitely a phrasing I hadn't heard previously either, so I was not 100% sure. So let's go... Enhanced trait. Thank you. I gotta make sure I gotta get better at this. I gotta get used to this way of doing drag and drop too. Add an advantage. Modify ability or modify defense. Dodge and parry. And yeah, so we'll say naturally he goes up to 9, and with this we'll get him up to a total of let's say 14. Yeah. And then so if he's at 14 for his dodge and parry, that means he would be at 8 for his toughness, so I really only have to modify that slightly, which I think I will do by increasing the Ares armor by 1. And let's see here, let's go back up to our... Yeah, so now we're at 8 to 14, so it's the PL 11, and that's... Right, that's a total of 22. Yep. All right, those are balanced against each other. Fortitude and will are balanced against each other. I definitely feel like something about I don't know, actually. I was gonna say I feel like almost a god would be more more will strength. Strength. I've never seen Hazbin Hotel. I've heard many people talk about it, but it's one of those things I've never really... I'm not a huge anime person, if I'm being honest. I've watched like Zoid's Chaotic Century, Full Metal Alchemist, Pokemon, but it's never been something I've really dived into. Oh, you know, I take that back. I did really like oh, I'm gonna butcher the name, but it's Madoka Magica, the sort of oh, it's not anime? I don't know why. I was definitely... Maybe I'm thinking of something else then. It's an American cartoon. Well, I am way off kilter then. All right, so let's see. So now that we got dodge, parry, toughness kind of settled. Fortitude and will. I really feel like he'd be... Just something about the madness, excess wine, and stuff like that. I really feel like he'd be more on the will defense in a way. Because nothing about him really makes me think of like physically tough, other than the fact that he is an enhanced being by nature of being a Greek god or demigod, yeah, depending. I have not seen My Hero Academia, which makes me entirely useless when people are asking questions on Reddit about how to create different stands. Other than knowing like generally how this game works. So with that, I don't know. What are we thinking, chat? What are we thinking about Fortitude versus Will? Do you think he should be even? Should he be shifted? Either way, I'm gonna have to move some of these numbers up a little bit just to get him up to defense caps. I mean, I don't know, Desmond. He's I say based on the picture we have of him, he's pretty squirrely guy. Can I let's see how can I, there we go. Make it a little bigger for everybody. I say the character inspiration for the art was Ratman from the Portal series, if anyone's familiar. Oh well, okay, never mind. See, I haven't seen either of those shows, Devious. You are correct though. Now that you've said it, I'm like, oh, that's right. Ooh, that's fun, Desmond, making enhanced source drinking alcohol. Okay. Yeah, maybe we'll play around with that. Um okay, Streak, yeah, you're leaning more towards even split. And Devious, you're thinking My Hero Academia is worth the watch. I mean, again, like all of these are things I've heard good amount of. All right, Paul, you're making an excellent point here. High fortitude means he can win drinking contests. Low will means he can easily be convinced to do stuff when hammered. We've developed this version of Dionysus as a little more almost conniving. He's not necessarily uh, easily manipulated. If anything, he's a manipulator. So I think kind of I'm gonna go with Streak's call about keeping it even. So in that case, let's just go to defenses here. We'll bump these up to 11. Oh, oh, I do like that it lets you know when you've hit the cap. I don't know why something about the little timer of sorts, or the little hovering timer of sorts on the notification makes me feel like I'm gonna get in trouble if I don't fix it before it's got done. When I'm sure all it means is that the notification will go away. Yeah, I think actually, Divas brings up a good point. I could probably just give him immunity to I say immunity to alcohol actually sounds like it'd be terrible for for a Greek god. Seems like he'd hate that, which would explain why he acts the way he acts. So, all right, well, we've at least got defenses kind of settled. Let's look at skills. He's not a very skilled character. It looks like primarily Brandon put him more towards his expertises, which are in magic and Ichor. Ichor being kind of any of these uh, god-based beings. It's kind of the power that runs through their veins. Squire, I'm like I said in the beginning, I'm not much of an anime person. I think the ship has sailed uh, for me getting into One Piece. Anyone else has the will to start that at this stage, God bless him, because that's just not for me. So let's see. Athletics, 0. Yeah, again, his character, while he's a little dodgy, is not meant to be particularly fit or strong or anything of that nature. Close combat will come back around to when we're selecting all of his various attacks. And same with close combat. Deception, I feel like that's a little low. If anything, I want to lower. I almost want to get rid of expertise magic, but not entirely. Well, let's lower each of these by 1. We're going to increase deception by 2. Oh, you know what? Actually, we're a couple points ahead over now, so let's also think about what I can lower. Hmm. Since most of his stuff goes into powers, I'm going to take a closer look at that because I just feel like I don't need him to be very skilled, but he just feels like he's a little lower in stealth than I'm imagining, and I feel like he should be just a little higher in deception. Wow, streak, that is wild. I gotta ask, like, did you start early on, or did you like, I don't know, did you start at the beginning of COVID or something? Like, did you have an opportunity to really get caught up quickly? Oh, that's interesting, Paul. And wait, where'd it go? And yeah, Doc, you're right. Icar is blood of the gods. Yeah, you know what? That's not a terrible point. That he does not necessarily have to be the most stealthy, so I can at least ignore that aspect of it. Deceptive still feels like it should be a little higher, though. Actually, I'm going to raise that up to meet the 10 of the others, and I'll figure out where to get points back somewhere else. Now let's look back at advantages. You know what? I will skip the quick draw only because it's not his spear that he's drawing, so it's not necessarily something he's always doing. Um, See, I don't think in the original appearance nor any subsequent ones that I've used him on that we've used the days, so I think I'm going to get rid of that since we have to get a couple points back somewhere anyway. Doc, you're going to have me out here Googling things. Oh, that makes sense. What is his presence and does he have beginner's luck? He does not have beginner's luck. His presence is a 3. So it's not that. I mean, you could get some points back, but it's not that high to begin with. Could go with beginner's luck to try to be able to do, well, maybe not. Defensive attack is an interesting choice as well. Hmm. Eidetic memory, improved initiative. I want to keep the improved initiative, especially if he's a character that teleports. Evasion, I think, is an interesting choice. Move by action. Ritualist, I almost want to get rid of, but it fits the character pretty well. Setup is also interesting, considering this character is being built as an NPC villain. Taunt makes a lot of sense, though. Hey, Devious, yeah, feel free to throw it in. Say if it won't post for you, let me know and I'll put it in myself. Just send it to me on Discord. Yeah, Doc. I was you had me googling to be like, what is this? I was really thinking for a second it was going to be some kind of instrument. And if anyone's on, actually, you know what? I'll just post the link anyway because uh oh, I can't actually select that. Interesting. Let me go to Discord real quick. So I want to make sure you're posting that on Twitch, Devious. I want to make sure that goes to both chats for sure. Link. And boom, sending this to both. All right. Let's see here. So yeah, just to follow up on that, if anybody can contribute to helping our friend Paul in the chat here out, much appreciated. Um, Back to Dionysus here. I think I want to get a point back by getting rid of either Ritualist or Setup. Ritualist is one I don't utilize it enough, but I think it's one of those things that does make sense for the characters. Oh, Doc, I googled it to see what it was. I did not like open the Wikipedia page and read anything additionally about it. I've never been much of a Greek mythology guy, like or mythologies in general, if I'm being honest. I find them very interesting, but I have a very surface level knowledge of them, except for like when I'm trying to learn a specific thing. Yeah, that's what I was kind of saying, Paul. So Brandon ran the adventure and created the Dionysus, so I don't know that he actually utilized the setup. And I can't for myself really consider, we're kind of just reviewing the character. I guess some people came in a little later, I guess I'll say. So we are reviewing a previous adventure we ran quite a few years ago, Assault on Wondertainment World. It was the first of our Redacted Rangers adventures, and we are looking at turning that into a module that we can publish for people because it was one of the games I've run at a convention a few times. I've had a lot of fun doing it, and I think it would be a good fit. So we're kind of reviewing any existing characters and kind of trying to figure out what all we're going to be needing. And we're going to start doing some streams here as we begin to prepare those items. Uh, See, I would say Desmond, for me, evasion makes sense. Just because again, if I imagine the characters being a little squirrely, he is kind of going to be able to, and also a teleporter, he can definitely like move out of the way of attacks like that. In my thoughts, Doc, feel free to to continue talking about Greek myth, especially it will help with my lack of knowledge. That's a fair enough aspect in terms of like why this, not that. But I guess that's also like I said, I think of him as I mean, I guess I'm thinking about this more mechanically of like I would, especially someone as the villain, I would like them to be pretty effective even when someone's trying to use like an area effect against them. Give them kind of an all around ability, and that's why ritualists set up a really. I like that. I like that way of thinking about it, Paul. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of setup of them right now. That is the one that really makes the most sense to me. I do really like the easy X buttons here to get rid of stuff. And if anything, I should probably give him a language power because I feel like he should have the ability to speak like kind of any language. Yeah, let's do it. Where would that be? Under communications, possibly. Space effects. Random number generator, Desmond? I'm not sure if that's what the acronym is for. Yeah, true. I was say even if I was say, or in the case of him, I can always they can always give out a hero point to the players if we want to take advantage of something like that. Um, what was I thinking? Oh, I was talking about communication here a moment ago. Um, be communication or would it be comprehend? Let's take oh, let's take a look. We got new power options, animals, languages, speak, understand, understood. What is understand versus understood? Speak only one language at a time. Oh, thanks, Squire. You can only speak one language at a time, though you comprehend multiple languages at once. The subject is not able to speak with creatures that don't discuss the language. For 2 ranks, you can both speak and understand all languages. Yeah, I feel like I want to... Wait. What's the other one? Speak and understand all language. For 3 ranks, anyone able to hear you can understand what you're saying regardless of the language. Yeah, I feel like that's what would be the most applicable. So let's see if I do... Oh, okay. That makes sense. Invalid comprehension can only be added once. How do I increase the ranks, though? Oh, just by clicking on them. I'm stupid sometimes. I feel like he needs to be able to read it, but being able to speak it makes sense to me. Like, he would benefit from being able to read it, but doesn't necessarily. I just imagine that God characters generally would be able to kind of, especially with timey-wimey shenanigans, you know, be able to speak to any being they come across. Knowledge of the gods, we'll say. For now. I say some of these things might get renamed, but just so I can do this for now. Dionysus on Wondertainment World. You're right, Squire. Reading is for nerds. That's why I never do it anymore. Okay. Well, for now, then, let's see. Teleport defenses are really... Teleport sickness. I don't think this is built the way it should be. For being able to teleport someone else. Also, just wait. Am I reading this? I'm just thinking about this now. I don't think he technically has teleport as its own ability. We just have the teleporting others for like hurting them with the affliction and using the teleport to redirect things, which I think makes sense. I don't know if we need both. Let's take a closer look. Redirect and deflect and reflect are one of those ones I don't use that often. Any target the attack back at the attacker. Okay. So redirect lets you send it back to the attacker. Reflect lets you send it back to the attacker. Redirect lets you send it to anybody. Interesting. Not feeling that one quite as much. Reflect, definitely. But the teleport's, like I said, I think looking over this... Redirect is the kind of thing that lets you have multiple attacks at a single enemy. It can be very strong if you're the only viable target for enemies. That could make sense. At the same time, though, like I said, the fact that he lacks the actual teleportation ability is a major miss here right now, so I think I need to go add that as its own power. I guess it could be part of this array. Yeah, that would make sense, considering he can only kind of use one at a time, so let me close that. And add base. Is teleporting a base effect? Yes. Okay. Let's see how far. Oh, I really love this too, that it shows you in the corner here how far your movement power will take you. Similar here, it shows you the DC. Again, just a lot of things set up in this that are really feel quite right. Also, does it tell me? I noticed that there's a little arrow here. I guess it's just because I've gone over budget, if I had to guess, based on the little pop-up tooltip. And sorry for starting this in 720p, everybody. Definitely remember that for next time to do it at 1080 or 4K or something to try to get the highest resolution we can get. Excuse me. Take a drink of water here real quick. All this being said, I'm really just kind of getting a chance to dive into Mastermind Maker in depth for the first time here, and I'm really loving it. I really think the Void Watches, Cassie really knocked it out of the park with this. I'm really happy that um, Green Ronin decided to take this partnership on, because I think this is going to be a real benefit immediately for 3E, but especially when 4E comes out, this is going to be phenomenal. All right, where was I? Powers, right. And back to the teleporting. How far should he be able to teleport? I'm not imagining too far. Nothing crazy. I don't know. I'm trying to remember how far is a mile, 5,100 feet, something like that. Oh, never mind. It doesn't. It already let me know. Cool. I think a mile is. He's a Greek god. He should be able to move fairly quickly. Interesting, Devious. So, like, you mean it within the actual thing here, making the text a little option to make the text a little bolder? Oh, okay. That's a good point about trying to get some points back too. It's just a little thing, but it would help. Any unique modifier? Interesting. I really like how that is broken down. Everything I've stumbled upon, I've yet to stumble on anything where I go, well, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, and I don't mean to bash on Hero Lab. Again, it was good for what it was, but it just was an app that was so specific to a time frame that we have long since passed. So I'm really glad to see something more modern like this. And yeah, Davius, definitely. Um, no, I can't really think of anything it needs. What does additive mean, though, in this case? This power borrows the rank from another power on the same character for purpose of calculating DCs. Oh, nah. Although additive, I am noticing is duplicated here. I almost not sure why. Maybe that's on purpose. And any unique modifiers, change direction, change velocity. Change direction actually makes, let's say, it's one of those things that almost feels built for a map, for using a grid map where your direction is more set as opposed to described like Theater of the Mind. I mean, yeah, Desmond, in terms of the look of everything, it's old fashioned by modern standards, but also just, again, I can only speak for myself on a Mac, but I know that for me, Hero Lab was constantly crashing if I made too many changes at once or like clicked things in the wrong way. And, I was really hoping, I put in a bug report fix hoping that they would maybe do something, and nothing ever came of it. And I had to just kind of accept the fact that anytime I did a major change on a character, it would crash. And obviously I haven't played around with Mastermind Maker too much. There could be a bug I haven't found yet, but I'm just, yeah. Yeah, I know, absolutely. Again, it's not that's why I want to say like I did use it and I was happy to have it, but I was just really hoping at some point that they would. I was originally actually hoping that they were gonna bundle it into their Hero Lab Online, But I'm also happy that that didn't end up happening just because I don't need another subscription in my life. I'm building a server so that I can avoid having to pay subscriptions I don't really want to. Take back control of your tech if I can give anybody some advice here. Um, let's see here. That isn't any. I think I am going to take your advice, Desmond, about folding move by action into the teleport, since I see that as being the main way that he'll be likely doing a lot of movement. Oh, you know, I also didn't give. I also got to make sure when I'm coming back to this character that I'm doing a little more with the titles, giving them some fun names. And maybe it will be under the unique ones. Turnabout. There we go. Also, I say I didn't turn on to play the sounds, but it does make some fun sounds when you drop stuff and delete stuff. In fact, can I turn that on now? I feel like everyone deserves to get a chance to hear this. No, well, let me add it without stopping the screen share. You know what? I'll stop screen share for a second. And boom, stop screen and start screen share. Window. Share system. Allow. And boom. Let me know if y'all can hear this now. Oh, interesting. DVs, do you remember where Steve said that? Because I definitely I'm definitely a little surprised by that because I would just consider teleport to be another type of movement. Or unless I misunderstood you earlier, Desmond, and you just meant using turnabout in place of. Oh, okay. Turnabout into a pattern rather than move by action to save a point. Okay, so yep. Never mind. I just misunderstood you initially, so cool. Yeah, this I would say bleep bloops are the correct wording for this program. And I think teleport 8 will be sufficient. I feel like I'm all right. So we're now what is it? 7 points over. So I definitely need to think of some things where I can pull back from today. Since we added that in, can I get rid of? Did I already get rid of move by? Okay, so yeah, so I still gotta find 7 points to get back in some way or another. Oh, you know what? I also never got rid of this defense modifier here, so let's get rid of that. It wasn't costing anything, but it was just bloat. What's not clear to me is why knowledge of the gods comprehend is in red. Is it because it's a power versus an array? Oh, okay. That's what it seems to be. The armor's giving him the toughness. We got the spear and what are the sandals are what I gave him. I like the implication that he's going around stealing everybody's stuff, which is a little excessive, some might say. Yeah. Like I said, once I've forgotten Turnabout's whole thing, so when I read that, I was like, oh, never mind. Whips appropriately is a, a very original sentence. Well, you know, I'm gonna change. Let's say some of this is definitely wrong. So let's. I think he was like 6'2" in his original description. Oh, sleep well, Doc. I'll say I think I don't know what we put. I'm going to take away age. Can I do that? Yeah, I don't have to have age. Pronouns he, him. I don't even know. I feel like that's a question I have to. I feel like that's a discussion I have to have with Brandon. I was like, do gods have gender? Is that what he has? Is he beyond that as a? I mean, I guess he's corporeal, so he might have if he has pronouns. I don't know. Say. Also, I think it's interesting. Oh, alias would not be Dionysus, so that's one thing it brought in from the original, and so I can get rid of uh name instead of alias. 175. Yeah, he's pretty scrawny, so I feel like for 6'2", that's pretty good. There was a website a long time ago. I'll have to see if I could find it where it was specifically for people that were like writing books, and it was like to give you an idea of like this is what this amount of pounds at this height is, and it would give you like pictures of people that people would submit pictures for it. We were looking through that to like try to get a sense of because I have a bad way of looking at someone and going, this is obviously X number of pounds. It's not a skill I'm trying to build necessarily, but it would make it easier when I'm writing a character to turn what's in my head into reality or be close to reality. We do have a lot in skills, so I do think I'm going to get some back by taking down these expertises. Yeah, that's a whole other dimension to this that makes it a problem. I just gotta remember that muscle weighs more. Yeah, you know what, Paul? I buy that. So we're 169. You know what? Based on our discussion earlier, I think I'm also going to lower his stealth down. Give him a little bit. If he wanted to sneak up on something, he could. But I feel like he could also just teleport, like we said. I take that as an idea, and I mean that is a cool thing about Mastermind Maker. If you want that to be a thing for your games, you absolutely could. Oh yeah. I'm not even saying within the game. I just mean that like when I list a weight on here, I have no sense of often of like if that would be accurate to looking at the picture of the person. Um, and again, like I said, in real life, there's a whole bunch of factors at play, but I don't want someone to be like, that seems off by a good, like a good measure. Of course, with something like this, I can always be like, well, he's a Greek god, so he's weighs less or more if he wants to. Hmm. Not really certain what else I would want to remove. Could go back to what we were discussing earlier and get rid of evasion, though I do like it tactically. Eidetic memory, again, I feel like it makes sense for that type of character. He does have expertise magic, so it would make sense that ritualist would be available. Taunt. Wait, demoralize with deception rather than intimidation. So let me go back to his skills then, because that means I could lower his intimidation. Yeah, let's lower the intimidation just a little bit. And we'll increase deception 1. It won't get us any points back, but it'll at least take advantage of that a little better. Because, yeah, I wouldn't think of him as a particularly intimidating individual other than the fact that, of what he is. You know what, friends? I think it's been a bit of a long day. I think I may call it soon here. And if I'm feeling up for it, I might do a follow-up for this tomorrow. Ah, Desmond, we're trying to save points, but that's actually a great idea. And hopefully next time, maybe especially if we're working on a character that Brandon created, I can try and get Brandon here too for the reeval. So let's go to, actually, let me just check out skills one more time real quick. All right, let's look at advantages. Benefit. What's each banker benefit get him? Okay. Say, I almost feel like that should be benefit 2. Greek Pantheon. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. I could look back at his powers and see if maybe there's some stuff I can, make honestly the spear making it easily removable would be there's some back right there. Oh wait, did I get any back from that? Oh no, because the sandals are more expensive. Rip. Hmm. Armor's not. Wait a second. Oh, he did have teleport already as part of that. Well, then I can get rid of the one that I added. I didn't see that that was under this container here. Although, why is it in a container then? If it's wait, Desmond, what did you say? Because it didn't say anything on my side that unless I don't know. It said some things here. Is it because you kept saying drunk? Do they not like that? Make them only able to use some while drunk. Unless there was some other expression you were using that was hit before I could see it. Okay, so yeah, I can get rid of. Well, why are teleport defenses a separate? Well, I guess if you want to be able to move and attack using them separately, but with an array you can change it once a turn. But then you would be locked into that until the end. Okay, I can kind of get it. That's wild. What? Bish bash bosh. If I get banned for saying that, I'm so sorry. Um. Yeah. So, well, I guess the teleport that I added didn't actually cost. It cost 1 point, but I can. Is there a way to? Let's see if I can just get rid of it. Okay. Well, you know what? 1 point is 1 point. That means we're only 1 point away from where we want to be. So, for now, is there just something I can do? I like him being able to speak all languages and understand all languages. Also, I just realized that, yeah, Brandon's teleport significantly was more limited. That was also a teleportal. So he's not as much of a teleporter character in the same way. As I was thinking. Because the portal makes it a little slightly more limiting. Alright, yeah, I think I'm starting to go slightly cross-eyed here. So I think I will end this a little early for today. I want to thank everyone for joining me and taking a look at this. I will definitely, especially if I do think I'm going to be doing this tomorrow, I'll try to make some posts to let everybody know. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I want to start doing these more often now that Mastermind Maker is out, because I want to start getting back into the swing of making characters and to prep for this module idea. I was thinking about maybe doing some GM prep streams. Of course, obviously, that would require anyone who hops on in to be okay with maybe getting a spoiler for something coming up for Masks and Mayhem. So maybe I'll put that out to the community and see if people would be interested in such a thing. But with that, I just want to say thanks for joining me. And of course, you can always check us out anywhere on socials at MayhemCast. And yeah, let me drop that link in the chat one more time. Thank you very much for reminding me about that. devious. And yeah, of course, you can find all of this content that we make at masksandmayhem.com. Have a good night, y'all.